Oh, you're fine. You can kick anything. I
Okay.
never really do anything.
You don't
Good
usually.
evening, Good evening, everybody. This is Chris from Country Boy Cryptids. We have a special guest tonight, Mr. Ryan Paul Tremblay of Monster
Howdy ho.
Radio.
How's it going, everybody?
So, Brian, what's new and what are you studying right now? Or you looking into anything in particular or anything
Oh
right
yeah.
now?
Actually, I'm looking into Bigfoot activity in my local area. Me and a friend went just the other night, and we actually had some pretty weird occurrences going on. So we're gonna go back maybe next weekend and look into that again.
Yeah, you're
So it was
you're in the
pretty.
Midwest. Right? You're in the
Yeah, I'm in
Midwest,
Arizona.
right?
Yep, I'm in
Yeah, yeah.
Arizona near the Mogollon Rim. So
Yeah, I was talking to. Well, I told you I was talking to Brown Dorf the other day on the show. He brought
mhm.
up Yucca Man, and
Oh
I've
yeah,
never heard of that before.
yeah. It's like the it's a desert Bigfoot. Basically, it's similar to the Mogollon monster. They've seen him
Really?
around Air Force bases in the desert, and people have had encounters with him up in the Mogollon Rim. And so when people think, Bigfoot can't live in Arizona, yeah, you're wrong. It can live in Arizona.
Are they? Do they? I mean, from the encounters and stuff you heard, are they as tall as the
Mm.
northern or the bigger ones, or are they kind of on the short side? Or
That kind of goes both ways. Like in some cases, they're extremely, extremely tall, but in some cases, they're actually really short.
uh huh.
I took a report from somebody where the Sasquatch that they saw was about 5.5 feet tall. Yeah, it's pretty small when you think about Bigfoot.
Yeah, yeah. I just wondered, being in the desert heat and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that
I
could
didn't know if
account for their smaller size.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is there food enough food in the desert to
Oh,
maintain
yeah.
a
Oh,
Bigfoot?
yeah, Chris. God, we got so much stuff. In fact, on my way to St. David today, we passed by the riverbed. There was turkeys crossing the riverbed.
Oh, okay,
We have
okay.
turkeys out here. We have quail. We have pheasant. We have javelina, coyotes, jackrabbits, cottontails. There's a lot of stuff out here.
That's a pretty big menu. That
Hmm.
should sustain one. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and we do have water sources too. I know a lot of people think of Arizona and they think of that dry, flat desert, but it's not
Yeah,
really like it's not really like that. We do have lakes, we do have streams, we have ponds. They're scarce, yes, but they are there.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They'd be in enough radius for them to survive. With the
Right.
water situation.
Well, what you got to remember too is we have aqueducts here. We have the underground water systems. So
Uh huh.
animals know how to dig into those. Like if a human can find water in a desert, so can an animal. But
Right.
another source of water would be from the cactuses that we have because we have saguaros, we have prickly pears, and you can actually take off prickly pears, eat one, and it'll make you hydrated like you drank water.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
That's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that's so you could survive out there if you knew which plants and stuff to eat.
yeah. If you knew what you were doing, you could survive. Would it be easy? Probably not, but you could do it. I mean, you'd have to know where to find shade, where to find the water, how to hunt for food, and where to go at night. Because at night it gets cold. Arizona gets very
Yeah,
cold at night, especially like in the middle of the desert. Yeah, it gets really, really cold.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy. The
Hmm.
the 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 extreme temperatures draw. The highs and the lows.
Yep. Yeah, like right
Yeah,
now it's
that's
85. Okay. So, it's mid evening for us or almost reaching evening. But by tonight, it's probably going to be like 60 something. So it gets a lot cooler than it is right now.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. And I guess in the desert you don't have the mountains blocking wind and stuff
Right.
either. Yeah,
Right. But we do have a lot of mountain ranges around us, though. I mean, it's like it's circling Arizona. It makes that like circumference where we're kind of going,
right.
you know?
Yeah. What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Uh, okay, you kicked out there for a second. Um, I guess let's jump into the Native American lore and stuff.
Okay.
I guess let's
All right.
start with the Skinwalker here. Tell me
Ooh,
something about
yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, skinwalkers, it's funny, Chris, because when I started looking into skinwalkers initially, I didn't really believe that there was something to them. I thought maybe it was just one of those tales that they told to scare their people. But after talking to certain people, for instance, William Nighthawk, shout out to him, I
Yes,
started
yeah,
realizing, oh my God, there's a lot more to this. So I started branching out and reaching out to some of the Navajo people that live on the reservations around here. And it took me a very, very long time. I really had to show that I knew what I was talking about, that I wasn't just using it to exploit it. But
Right.
they started trusting me. They started showing me places where skinwalkers were said to reside. And I got to tell you, man, when I walked into those places, there were some very weird vibes going on there. And you know how it is when you walk into a place that's not good. You could just
Yeah,
you
you feel
feel
it. You got
yeah, you
feeling.
feel it right
Yeah.
in your bones. You know,
Yeah.
so I walked to some of these places and I just like I got to chill like that. You know, and the hairs on the back of my neck are standing up. And they're telling me the stories of these skinwalkers and what they did, and I'm like, okay, there is something to this then. You know, and
Oh
so I
yeah.
learned that a lot of people, man, they don't understand what skinwalkers really are. You know, like a lot of people will see the rake or whatever and be like, oh, he's a skinwalker. No, he's not. That's not what they look like at all. A skinwalker could look like you or I, Chris. You know,
Hmm.
and really the only way you'd know is if we had the glowing from the eyes. And, you know, a lot of these skinwalkers don't show that glow unless they want you to know who and what they are. So it's
Wow.
skinwalkers is something that's really been convoluted, I guess, because people just throw in the Wendigo, they throw in the rake, they throw in all this other stuff, and the real original lore just gets tossed aside. And it was my point to really bring the original belief to the surface so people knew what they were dealing with.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Especially the Skinwalker and Wendigo get kind of mixed up real bad.
All the time. All the time. Hey, Ashley, I see Ashley's here.
Yeah. Actually, I.
Yep. Yeah, the Wendigo, I mean, they're two completely different things, Chris. I mean, a lot of people think they're one and the same, but no. No, a Wendigo is an entity. I like to view it as there's two different kinds of Wendigo. Okay. You have a Wendigo, and then you have the all encompassing Wendigo, and that's the spirit that's out in nature. That's the one that's waiting for these people to break those taboos so they can be possessed and become Wendigos. You know, then you have a Wendigo, such as, you know, Swift Runner, who got possessed by the Wendigo, became a cannibal, killed his family, so forth and so on. Whereas skinwalkers are shaman. The shaman know exactly what they're getting into. Okay, they devote themselves to this black craft on purpose to become the Yinarushi. So they're two completely different things.
So they, in theory, they can turn into anything, like a
Um,
human, another human. When you're a
no,
Skinwalker.
no. What they got to do is they have to wear the pelt of the animal they want to become.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, so like taking on the form of you or I, they couldn't do that. What they could do is mimic our voices from a distance, but that's about it. They couldn't take on our physical form. They couldn't look like us or even really talk like us. You know, they'd be their best impression when they're doing the mimic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's more for the animal side. They can,
Yeah.
as long as they got a pelt, they
Yeah.
can
And
turn
usually
into.
it's predatory animals that they use. They'll use like a coyote or something along those lines because in the Navajo culture, it's forbidden to wear the predatory animal pelt because you're showing disrespect towards those animals. So when somebody does that, when they don those pelts, that's disregarding their religion, their belief in their religion. So they'll be shunned from the tribe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. The Wendigo. Do they have the big deer horns or not?
No, no. Where that came from, Chris, is Algernon Blackwood wrote a book about the Wendigo many centuries ago. Okay. And in that book, he had a depiction of the Wendigo that was drawn by somebody else that showed branches sticking from the head. It wasn't deer antlers at all. So
Uh,
people misinterpreted it. What they did is they created this stag-headed Wendigo because it looked cooler. It was
yeah.
scarier for people, and they could tell more stories about that particular Wendigo.
Wow.
Hmm.
So I mean, branches is originally what
Yeah, it was
they
tree
say.
branches because they used to say that the tree branches would stick to the skin of the Wendigo, and that some of them would take those branches and they'd wear it as a disguise. So it was never antlers though.
Now they're more of an entity, right? The
Yeah,
Wendigo.
yeah, I believe so. I mean, the Algonquins and the Cree and the Ojibwe, they say they're a demonic spirit. Okay, what we would consider demons, and
Yeah.
they'll enter a human body when certain cultural taboos are broken. Now, the most popular one is cannibalism, but that's not the only way someone can become a Wendigo. It's like with lust or greed, that opens the doors to somebody can be cursed to become a Wendigo, or they can even dream of the Wendigo, and the Wendigo can enter their body through dreams.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're dreaming of a Wendigo, there's a problem.
No doubt. Yeah, I didn't know
Hmm.
that. I never heard
Yeah,
that one before.
yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Do you guys have like the fey people out there that way in Midwest
Yeah,
still? Or?
yeah, we have the Puckwudgies out here. If you ever heard of Puckwudgies, they're mean-spirited little creatures, man. Like they'll be nice to you for a little while, but if you do anything to tick them off, you're gonna know about it really quick, and they're gonna be vile with you.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's stories of them robbing families, like taking babies from the cradle, so they're
Oh
really not
wow.
nice people. Yeah, you don't want to really anger them in any way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've
Hmm.
heard of like the ones over in Ireland, like the brownies
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But
But when it comes to
I
the
didn't.
Fae, I think like they're all connected. I think that sprites and fairies and leprechauns and puckwudgie, I think they're all pretty much, lumped together.
What about the little people?
The little people, like you mean like Littlefoot or
I always hear them called little people. I guess
yeah,
they're some kind of Native American.
yeah, those
Guess
are the
they're.
puckwudgies,
Oh,
and
okay, okay.
and the Dewinde as well. We have Dewinde as well. So,
Oh, okay,
hmm.
okay. I got mixed up then. I didn't know
Oh no, I think they all come from
because a
the
lot
same
of people say little people, and I'm like, okay.
yeah. It's a blanket term. It's a blanket term they use to cover like puckwudgie, Dewinde, little things like that.
Right, right. Well, what about the dog man? Do you guys got them out there too?
Oh yeah, that's where I had my encounter is right here in southern Arizona.
You want to tell everybody your encounter?
Yeah, sure. I actually I had to house sit for a friend while he and his wife went away. And I had this schedule that I had where I would do morning routine checkups, afternoon checkups, and my last checkup was always midnight or around midnight, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
went on this night about midnight, and it was a cool night. It wasn't super hot, but it wasn't super cold. And as I'm walking up his driveway, I noticed the coyotes are super, super vocal tonight, but they don't sound like they normally did. They actually sounded nervous. And if you ever heard nervous coyote chitter, you can definitely tell, okay, they're nervous because they sound like little kids chittering and chattering.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a chatter. Yeah, I've heard them up at the house,
Yeah.
up on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you know what I'm talking about, though. When they're excited, you can tell there's something wrong, like something's off. And so I heard that,
yeah.
and I just kind of like dismissed it. I'm like, well, maybe it's a hunting cry, or maybe they're chasing after some game. Didn't really pay much mind to it. But as I'm walking to the back of his house, I kind of heard some noises going on, and it wasn't the coyotes that was making this. So I'm kind of going, well, that's a little weird. And the further back I go, I actually heard a growl. There was like a deep growl. So I thought somebody was messing with me at first, Chris. So, being the short guy that I am, the short, skinny guy, I try to puff up and I'm all, hey!
Right.
Nothing happens at first. There's nothing that follows up at first. But as I'm walking again, there's another growl. Okay, so this time I'm trying to go Arnold Schwarzenegger on this thing, and I'm like, hey! And, well, this time it responded. There was a deep growl in back in response to me, and I could feel this growl in my chest. Like I was like,
Oh
oh,
man.
feel that in my chest. I thought maybe it was a bear, but then it clicked on me. There's no bear in my part of Arizona. We have mountain
Yeah.
lion, but it doesn't sound like a mountain lion because I know what mountain lions sound like. So I
Yeah.
just kept walking in the back, thinking everything's fine, and I see something in silhouette. Right away, I thought it was a vagrant that maybe came up from the wash. He was trying to just chill in my friend's backyard because nobody was home. So again, I'm trying to be the badass, and I'm all, hey! It growls right back at me, and I notice it's staring right at me, and I'm looking at it. And as it's looking at me, the security lights come on, right? And when the security lights come on, there's an amber glow reflecting in the eyes. And what I'm looking at, Chris, it's not a dog, it's not a coyote, it's not a mountain lion, it's not a man. This thing looks like a hyena.
Oh wow.
And it's sitting there, it's on four legs, it's got kind of like its front legs between its lower legs. And so it's just like kind of staring at me. And it slowly stands up. And I hear a loud pop when it stands up. And so it was just drops down. Thing stop. Oh, am I clicking out?
Yeah, you're breaking out.
This thing
Yeah, you're
stopped on
breaking.
it. Oh, okay, there we go. It stopped on a dime, dude. It charged forward and just stops all of a sudden, and it stands back up. And it reaches up and it grabs this branch. So the branch is kind of like supporting its weight. And it's standing there staring at me, dude. And I can see its head going side to side, and its ears are going up and down. Now to me, now that I look back at it, that's what a dog does when a dog is curious, right?
Right, right.
So I didn't want to move, though. I did not want to move. The common sense in my brain said, don't run because it's bigger than you. It's only 15
Right.
feet away. If it wants to get you, it's going to get you. So we just stood there staring at each other. And I don't know how many minutes passed. It felt like forever, man. But eventually this thing starts to back away, and it turns around and it starts walking back the way it came. And once it's out of my line of sight, dude, that's when I'm like, okay, I got rocket boots. But I turned around, I ran into my friend's house. I'm locking the doors, I'm bolting the windows, I'm looking for knives or whatever he's got. And I call him up and I'm like, I tell my friend, yo, man, there's something wrong with your backyard. There's a hyena in your backyard. My friend's on the phone going, a hyena? Ryan, what are you talking about? There's no hyenas in Arizona. So that's the encounter that really got me into Dogman.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it looked like a hyena, did it have a big neck? That big neck like a hyena does? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. And it had like I'd say it was almost like the caramel coloring that the hyenas would have. And the
okay,
face
yeah, I know.
was so hyena like. It was just like so spot on for a hyena that it couldn't be anything else.
How tall was it again?
I'd say he was maybe about 6.5 feet, because I'm 5'10.5". And from where he was standing, he was towering over me.
Oh, wow.
So he's about 6.5 feet, maybe, but it's not huge. But he wasn't really muscular, Chris. Like you see here in those reports, he was
Yeah.
more like a basketball player build. Like he was
Really?
slender, but you could see he had muscle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't like super buff.
Did he have the big claws that they say, or did you
I
get to
couldn't
see?
really see. I couldn't really see his claws at all because he was holding one up like that, so that was covered by the tree branches, and the other one was down low, and I just couldn't see his hands.
Wow.
So,
That would have freaked me out.
mm. Oh, it did. It did for the longest time. I didn't want to take my dog out. I didn't want to go and take the trash out because I was convinced that when I went to go take the trash out or something, this thing's gonna be behind the dumpster.
Waiting on you, yeah.
Yeah, the paranoia kicks in after you see something like that because you're like, oh, it's going to be behind this corner, or it's going to be behind this tree, or behind a dumpster, or whatever, and you just don't want to go out. But, as I started looking into the stuff, I realized, okay, Ryan, you have to go out and look for stuff.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you get that stinky smell from it or anything?
Oh, man, yeah, the smell that thing was giving off was terrible, bro. It smelled like feces, urine, and rotted meat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's just like, somebody hand him some deodorant because woof.
Wow.
It was bad.
Now, do you think they're demonic in nature, the dog man, or what do you think? They're just good and bad?
I don't think they're demonic. I think maybe what they're doing is they're reacting to how they see us react. Yeah, I think they've been around humans long enough that they know most humans will pull a weapon. Okay, the human will react violently. And I think it's just kind of like nurture versus nature. Like it's not really in them to be violent originally, but now they know what humans are like. So now we're encouraging their violent behavior.
Right. Mm-hmm. Now, how far did they go back? How far have you traced the dog man back? I've heard Egypt. I've heard Egypt.
Yeah, ancient Egypt. You can go back to like the Wolvers in Scotland and Ireland. But what's really weird, Chris, is the Wolvers over in the Celtic lands. They're so much different from the Dogman here in the States.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with Wolvers, they're always said to be these gentle creatures that will even feed travelers. So if they see a lost traveler, they'll feed them, they'll take care of them. So you got to look at that. Like, how come they're so friendly, whereas the Dogmen in the States are so aggressive? Is it because we act aggressive towards them? I think so. Hey, what's up, Carson?
Hey, Carson. Yeah, it's just one of them things, Do you think that they're tied in with the Bigfoot? Do you think the Bigfoot go back that far as the dog man?
Oh, the Bigfoot go back further, man. I think that Bigfoot has such a storied tale here that we're not even overturning some of those stones yet.
Uh-huh.
And I think we got a very, very long way to go until we know what the origins are for Sasquatch. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people way back in the past, they saw them, and we're discounting those stories when we shouldn't be.
Right. Hmm? Yeah, I know the Bigfoot, what kind? Have you had an encounter yet with a Bigfoot or Gogway?
Not yet. I'm hoping that I'll see a Bigfoot pretty soon. Maybe if I go up to the Mogollon Rim, I can run into that Mogollon monster, but I hope it's from a distance.
Right.
I'm a cryptozoologist, but I don't want to see it right up close in my face, man, because we're going to have problems at that point.
Oh, no doubt. Mm-hmm. No doubt, that's for sure. But now, the Gugway, that is a Bigfoot, right? But
I think so. I think they're related. I don't think they're from the same exact species, but I think they were a branch off, which would explain why they're bipedal. They look ape-like. They have some similar behaviors. So I do think they are related, yeah.
Now, that's face eater, right? The ones they call the face eaters?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie? What is it? Primal Rage.
Oh
Have you
yeah,
seen
I
it?
love that movie, man.
That
Oh,
is the most awful. I mean, they ain't the best actors in it, but that's one of the best movies I've seen. I
oh
mean,
yeah, yeah, and that Bigfoot in there. I always say that's a gugly, man. Whenever somebody says, "Oh, that's just a Bigfoot,"
yeah,
I'm like, oh man, it's a gugly.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they talk. You know, they wear it was wearing a mask.
Yeah, it
You
made the
know,
mask out of the bark of the tree. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think they could use tools like that and make fires? I mean, it was
Oh,
around the Native Americans for
I don't
you
know about
know.
fire. I think they fear fire. I think they're worried
Uh,
about giving away their location with fire and worried about hurting others with fire. Oh, Miss Lene, hey, it's always good to see Miss Lene. But
oh
yeah,
yeah.
do I think they can use tools? Sure, why not? I mean, they filmed a orangutan using a spear to spearfish. So if
Wow.
they could do it, why couldn't Bigfoot?
Very true. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, Carson said that they've been here since the
yeah, but
beginning of
Carson,
time.
you got to be really careful though, not to lump all the tribes into like one thing. Like the name you used right there, that's not the name that other tribes use. I mean, there's so many different names, and there's a lot to a name. Okay, so some of the tribes viewed Bigfoot as a very dangerous and evil being to be around.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
I
But
mean, you
then
got
you,
Genosqua, you got
yeah,
Genosqua, you got Skookum. Skookum actually means mountain devil.
oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it means mountain devil. So look at the names. I mean, don't just look at the names, look at the meaning of the names.
Yeah, I
Like
might start doing that. Yeah,
yeah,
I
the
didn't. I
Micmac
didn't.
called Bigfoot Wendigo, not spelled the same as Wendigo. It's spelled with an I, but Wendigo means hairy cannibal. So what
Oh,
does that say? Yeah.
yeah, there must be. I didn't know all that. I thought Bigfoot. That was just another name for Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
No, no. There's a lot to it, Chris. I'm telling you. You look into this stuff, you start learning that there's meanings behind names, meaning behind places, and you're kind of like, oh.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's like what, four different types they're saying. I've
That's what they
heard
say. Yeah.
the
I
Alaskan, and then ones from South America that come up, and then
Yep. I think what's going on though is they're really all from the same family. We're just seeing them in different regions. So does that mean that they're types? Not really. Just means that they're adapting from different regions. That could
right,
explain the fur color, the behavior. Anything that they do that's different. They could explain from the regions. Because you got to adapt differently to survive.
right, right. Yeah, because
Mhm.
I mean, you're going to have warm like the skunk ape down in Florida.
Mhm.
In the heat and the humidity, and then the ones out west, and then yeah, Canada.
Yep. 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 And I mean, in Canada, you got Genosqua, the stone giants, the ones that are known to roll in the sap and the river rocks and hunt people. So,
Right. Yeah, I've
mhm.
heard of that before.
Yeah, that's a
Kind
really
of like
cool.
it. Kind of makes an armor, right, with rocks
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the story goes that like they were being killed off by the flint arrowheads of the time. So these things adapted and they learned to roll in the sap from trees and then roll in pitch and river rock. Because what it did is it created a barrier where those flint arrowheads couldn't get through. They'd break when they hit the rocks.
Oh yeah.
So they had an oblique armor that they were using when raiding tribes. They didn't have to worry about arrowheads or tomahawks or anything like that. The big worry came when the settlers came over with muskets, because then the muskets could penetrate through the stones.
Yeah. 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 I mean, could you imagine that all that fur and then putting that tar on? That
I
would
don't know.
really get. That would really get packed on there tight.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
it definitely would. And these things were supposed to be really smart too, Chris. Like they actually had this whistle. It was a high pitched whistle that they would do when they were coming down from the mountains into where the valleys were, where the tribes were. So the tribes knew, listen for that whistle. If you hear that whistle, that means that Genosqua is on the way.
oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know you guys are going to do a show in the Hawnee Valley. What's the Bigfoot up there called?
Well, you got the Nukluk, which is said to be like a Neanderthal type person that's really short and they're running around wearing fur. Then you got Nakani, which are said to be the really aggressive, take no nonsense Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So, and it's theorized that the people that originally lived in the Hani Valley, the Naha, and now these guys were cannibals, okay, Chris? They were cannibals that used to go around cutting off the heads of their victims. It's believed that the Naha got into a war with the Nakani and that's why the Naha disappeared.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't wait until you guys do that show. Damn.
That's going to be a good show.
Yeah, because I started reading up on it, and it amazes me, like
Oh,
the
there's so
stuff that
much
you
to
hear
that.
from out there. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
there's so much stuff to it. There's all these different legends that come from the Honey Valley. You got the ghosts, you got the Bigfoot, you got the Neanderthal men. You know, you got all kinds of weird stuff out there that you got to look into. It's a very deep rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's for sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
trust me, man. I
don't they
got
have
so
a
many
whole
notes on it, man. I have a notebook this thick full of notes just on the Honey Valley, and I'm like, man, I dived way too deep into this one.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, and there's different climates up there too, from what I've read up
Yeah,
on. It's
there's
crazy.
even supposed to be like a Garden of Eden in the Honey Valley, you know? So
Yeah,
it's like, that's creepy.
yeah, you hear the woolly mammoths and all that stuff.
Hmm.
It's nuts. I don't want to give up too much because I know you guys are wanting to do that show. It's awesome.
Oh,
Oh, Lene has a question for you here.
oh, it went pretty good, Miss Lene. We actually had some very creepy interactions going on. I don't know if it was pale humanoids or maybe a possible Bigfoot, but we played the Ohio Howl, okay? And everything was quiet until we played that. Once we played that, we got this really horrendous smell that was hitting us. It smelled like sulfur. Like me and my buddy were actually getting sick from this smell. And as we were trying to make our way back to where we started, we could hear something clapping as it's walking behind us. And we hear this going,
What?
woo, woo. And we didn't know where that was coming from. Like I thought it was an owl, but there was no trees that were big enough for an owl. And we could hear twigs snapping behind us, and it got pretty creepy, man. We got back to camp and we were like, oh, thank God. But we're going back out next weekend, possibly. So maybe we'll find something.
Wow.
I think I stirred up a Bigfoot inadvertently, man. Leave it to me to get in trouble like that. Yeah, I thought it was a good idea. I really did. I thought, oh, hey, I'll play the Ohio Howl, see what happens. Yeah, it was probably a bad idea because there was something following us now. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get us killed someday. Awesome. Way to go, Ryan.
Wow, it actually sounded like someone clapping
Yeah,
behind
it
you.
was a steady clap, Chris. Like it was just me and my buddy. We were side by side, so I knew it wasn't him. Right? I knew it wasn't him, but we could hear a. Now, what I think it was, I don't think it was a hand clapping. I think it was,
Oh,
hitting
their
their.
chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, don't some people say that they can use their hand to do a wood knock like?
Yeah, and I think the wood knocks, Chris. I think it could be a couple of things. I think they could be using branches to knock against a tree, but what if they're using mouth pops? What if it's their mouth doing that?
Could be.
Yeah,
And with their lung capacity on it,
yeah.
their lips are bigger than ours. I mean, they're big.
Or maybe they are beating their chest like a gorilla would. I mean, it's a territorial thing where they clap. Maybe that's what it is.
Right.
So, I mean, unless we actually see them doing it, see them using that branch to hit a tree, we don't really know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying there. Yeah, because no one's seen one actually
Right.
hit a tree.
Right. And so what, does Bigfoot walk around carrying a really long stick to beat on the trees with? Or, are they going to rely
Yeah.
on methods like their hands just to, smack the tree?
Now, what do you think of the X's and the TPs, the structures?
I think we have to be really, really careful when calling them Bigfoot structures because there's a lot of survivalists out there that will
Yeah.
make certain structures that, like, to you, it looks odd because you don't see it every day. So you automatically think Bigfoot. But when you look at survivalist videos, a lot of the stuff that you see, they make. So we have to find a way to differentiate the Bigfoot ones from the survivalist ones. Now, I do
Yeah,
think Bigfoot makes them. I think it's a way to mark territory.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I know as a hunter, growing up hunting all my life, we used to make stuff like that to hunt out
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you camouflage,
Yep. And you're using the stuff that's readily available to you. You're not going to bring bricks and all this stuff into your hunting
No.
area. So you just
No.
use the trees around you. So it makes sense.
Now, I've seen some of them structures that I don't think it'd be humanly possible to lift them. Now, them ones they're pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
With the big logs and stuff. And they made
Yeah, I
out
think the
of.
bigger ones, you could definitely say, okay, that's possibly Bigfoot. But I think we really got to stop saying that every structure.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, we can't go, oh, that's Bigfoot, because everything's going to be Bigfoot till nothing's Bigfoot,
Right. Right. What about the X's?
I think those are a way to mark territory. That's what I believe
Oh,
they are. Is they're marking their turf
yeah.
because they're always big enough so you see them. You know, so that's clearly their way of saying, "Hey, somebody's here. Stay off my turf."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, humans wouldn't know, but like a dog man would know, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, other
Or
animals would know.
another clan, you know.
Right, right. They know what that means. They know why it's there, so they might deviate from that turf. I mean, it makes sense. It really does.
Yeah.
And I see Ashley's not happy that I'm going out next weekend. You want to come over during the week, Ashley, and we'll go out? Hey, maybe Bigfoot will interact with her. She's much prettier than I am.
They say women have more encounters. I
Hey,
mean,
man, I wouldn't even blame the Bigfoot if he showed up going, "Hey, I'm here for the redhead." I'd be like, "Ah, man, I don't."
oh shoot. Oh, but yeah, the Bigfoot subject really fascinates me.
Oh yeah,
And
there's so.
I was really too into it when I was a kid. But
Mhm.
then you just grow up. I always did believe there's a Bigfoot.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully one of these days I get an encounter. But
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with Bigfoot, so it was kind of like, something I was always into. And plus, my dad used to always hit me with the tales of the Rougarou growing up. No, Ashley, that's not what I said. I said Bigfoot would show up for you, not that he would take you. You're much prettier than I am. He'd see you from a distance and go, "Ooh, I want to come talk to her."
yeah.
I'm sure Bigfoot looks at me and goes, "Oh, it's just Ryan." Dude, what a loser.
He just likes to come out here and try to catch us.
Yeah, we like to mess with him. We'll throw stuff at him. We'll make noises, but, he means well.
Have you had any rocks thrown at you or anything yet while you've been
Oh,
out
yeah.
in the
Yeah, when I was on the phone with Ashley when it happened. I was down at the research area, and a stone just came out of nowhere and hit me right in the knee. You could hear it go, "Flap." And there was nobody else around, so I was just looking around kind of like, okay, apparently it's on now.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, that probably scared the hell out of you, you standing there, in
Oh,
the
I
middle
was
of the woods.
scared, man, but, I'm not going to run because I'm pretty sure whatever it is can outrun me. And I'm not
Right.
going to instigate that whole predator prey instinct and have it chase me.
Right.
Hmm.
That's crazy. I
Hmm.
just hope I get to see one. That's
You
all I
will.
want.
You will. Someday you will. I think it's just going to be a matter of the right time at the right place.
Right? All the years I've been hunting, never seen nothing like that. But not saying they wasn't there though.
Right. Well, I mean, it might happen when you least expect it, dude. You
Yeah.
never know. There's plenty of stories of Bigfoot coming up to a hunter in his hunting blind and just, touching his foot or whatever. Maybe the same thing will happen to you.
Now, do you think they're interdimensional and stuff, or what's your thoughts on that, Ryan?
I have an interesting theory on that, Chris. I think there's two things going on here. I think some people are actually seeing what we would call the actual Bigfoot, the actual dog man. And I think some people are seeing maybe like what's considered a tulpa, where all our thoughts and everything are coming together and forming this living entity that comes into our realm. And some of us are seeing that. That's why some of these Bigfoot or dog man appear to be bulletproof. That's why they phase. That's why they just disappear because they're not really the real flesh and blood deal. It's something that we created with our own minds, and they're taking on the form of Bigfoot and Dogman.
Yeah. Well, now you're getting all these stories about what they're calling the Glimmer Man.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's something along the same lines. I really do.
Now, I
Because
just
our minds are a powerful thing, Chris. It's very, very powerful, and what we put out there in the universe equally as powerful. So, if we're thinking
yes,
about these things all the time and we fear them so much, who's to say that thinking about it so much with so much fear doesn't bring it to life? You know what I'm saying?
I believe it. You manifest it in your mind.
Right. Yes, manifestation is a real thing.
Now, I seen a picture today of. I mean, honest to God, the outline did look like a dog man,
Ooh,
and it looked like like the predator. It was like there.
wow.
You could see it, but you could see through it. It
Hmm.
was kind of weird.
Kind of like it was phasing in or phasing out.
It just looked. You could see the tree branches of the same tree.
Hmm.
You could see them running through the figure there.
Right. So it's kind of
So
like he was, deteriorizing in a way.
yeah.
Okay, well, see, that
Like
would go along the lines of a tulpa. Because I mean, maybe their energy is limited. Maybe they can only show up for a certain amount of time and then they just phase away.
right.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Ashley has some opinions on that too. So, Ashley, you want to chime in comments?
Yeah. Yeah, because I noticed that I just started hearing about this. And I've seen a few pictures.
Hmm.
I mean, they look legit. I mean, but with AI, you never know anymore. But
Yeah, AI is really creating a big problem with these hoaxes, man. Like every channel out there has an AI photo saying that, oh, this was taken from a trail cam. And you just go, no, it's not. You can tell.
yeah,
It's not a trail cam photo. That's an AI generated photo. Come on.
yeah, because if you see them AI generated, their hands
Mhm.
and fingers ain't right. You know, I mean,
Yeah, and there's something to the texture of the photo too. Did
yeah,
you ever notice that? Like they always have a very smooth and shiny texture to them.
yeah, yeah.
So that's another way to tell. And I think a lot of people got to stop and analyze those before saying, oh, they're real.
Hmm.
So, because I mean, that's really damaging to the field. When people post all these hoaxes, this is why science says, hey, get lost, cryptozoologists. You're all a bunch of fakes.
Right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, it's by science way. They do their way of thinking.
Yeah.
But you have so many encounters that there isn't no pictures of.
Right. And
Of,
that's because, honestly, Chris, we know when we go out, we're not expecting to have an encounter. Okay.
yeah,
So when an encounter happens, we don't have the best camera available. And sometimes people just get so scared, they don't even think
you
about their
forget.
phone. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that from even experienced investigators like you.
Mhm.
Have
Yeah.
not have just not thought.
Yeah. I can tell you straight up right now, dude, that if I were to see a dog man in broad daylight, like 5 feet away from me, I don't think my first thought's going to be, I have to get my phone to take a picture. My first thought is going to be, is this thing going to eat me? Am I safe? Should I run?
Hey, Fresh.
Oh, hey, what's up, Fresh? No, I don't believe everything is a simulation. I really don't. I really don't. So it's a very interesting belief, though. I know some people that are subscribed to that, but I just think it's a little far fetched.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one yet.
Oh, that's something that once you start diving down that one, Chris, tie a rope around your waist.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
Hmm.
Let's get it. What can you tell me about the rake? This is something I just don't ain't figured
Okay,
out yet. I haven't.
the rake was actually started as a creepypasta. Okay,
Okay.
and it started as like an internet thing on the Reddit forums, and then 4chan actually started posting stuff about the rake, and it became immensely popular. Now, people started writing their own stories and sending it into the Reddit, into different channels, saying they encountered the rake. And that's really how the rake came about. So it was all just a creepy pasta that got really super popular, like Slender Man. Remember that one?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like Slender Man. Yeah.
Right. Like Slender Man and the SCPs, the Secure, Contain, and Protect kind of thing. It all became really popular because of that. But then, like, as these stories grew in popularity, more and more people were claiming they saw the rake. Now, my very unpopular opinion here is that the rake itself isn't real, but there is something out there that people have seen that could actually be attributed to something like the rake. And those are the pale humanoids.
Okay. What are them? Are them the ones that I've seen pictures? I don't know what they are. Is
Okay,
that the
well,
humanoid looking thing that's got the long arms and the long legs and they're really
yeah,
white? Well, I mean, I know they're taken with night cameras, but they look really white, like bright
yes,
white.
yes. And there's actually reference to them in some of the Native American tales. Some tribes actually called them the people before the people. Now,
Oh
what they
wow.
mean by that is these people were here before their tribes settled, but the people before the people went underground. There's something that drove them underground, and they adapted to subterranean life. And according to their stories, this is why their skin turned white and their eyes turned completely black, and they didn't have any hair because they were living underground, like those things in the movie The Descent. It was like
Yeah.
that. So those are perfect examples. When you want to have somebody think of the pale humanoids, tell them, look at The Descent.
So I mean, do these things kill people and cannibals, or do we not
Um,
know?
No, they're more inclined to kill smaller animals and drag them back to the caves. Now, nobody's really fallen into a cave with these things in there, so we don't
We
know.
don't. Or yeah.
You know, I mean, my friend Nate Brislin, he researches them. He doesn't have a lot of violent encounters. You know, they're usually coming through and just passing by and, running off.
Wow. See, I didn't understand that they went into caves and stuff like that.
Yeah, and actually, biologically, Chris, that would make a lot of sense as to why their skin lost all pigmentation, why
Yeah.
their eyes actually, changed. So, yeah, see, Ashley knows.
Oh
See,
wow. Okay. Okay.
there's got to be something to that. I mean, if the Hawaiian people actually believe that, and the
Yeah.
tribes here in the States believe that, there's got to be something to that.
Oh, there's got to be. I mean, it's got to be something. Yeah, that's for sure.
Hmm. I don't believe that they're demonic. I don't believe that they're emerging underground from hell. I think that, they just went subterranean.
They
And
come out
that's
to
why they're
eat.
emerging. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they come
coming
out
out
to
to
eat.
hunt. They're coming out to hunt and maybe even coming out to see what's going on. Maybe the noises that our cars make or the noises that people make, they're kind of like, well, what's going on? What are those noises,
Yeah, I mean, have you seen that blind
Yeah.
frog ranch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I mean, look at them frogs that come out there. They was blind because they have
Yeah.
never been out of the dark. I mean, the cave is completely dark.
Right. Right. So, I mean, it could be something like that they just evolved that way.
Yeah, they've
Mm-hmm.
just gotten used to it.
Yep. Yeah. Fresh. I do kind of believe the supernatural a bit more.
I actually just said something here.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. She knows a lot of stuff too. You should get her on here, Chris. She's really good too.
Well, I never thought to just get both of you on at the same time. It just never crossed my mind. But so
Oh,
what kind of structures was they building? Do you know what she's talking about? Like, is it like a Bigfoot structure, or was it?
no, I think those were the stone structures, right, Ashley? Like the little temples and everything. I'm pretty sure.
Good
What's going
evening,
on?
existers.
Yeah, she'll know.
Yeah, but
It
yeah,
sounds like they were more active in Hawaii, though.
yeah, they had temples and stuff.
Hmm.
They had to have their own religion,
Yeah, I think what it was with these things, it was kind of like a decline of society in a way. That once they went subterranean, they forgot the human ways and just became more animalistic,
Yeah.
as often happens. I mean, feral humans.
Okay, here she said. Well, some of them are like lakes and rivers, basic explanations for natural occurring things.
Very good.
But some are akin to other ancient structures.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's
That makes
pretty
sense.
awesome. I didn't know they had stuff like that down there in
Yeah.
Hawaii. I mean, I know it's mostly natives, that live there.
Yeah.
But, that just goes to show you the different, you know, how different cultures was. Hawaii.
It's funny
What
though
did I
that
say?
cultures differ so much, but we have so much in common with our folklore.
Yeah, like
You know?
like the Aztec. Was they more like the Native Americans?
Yeah.
But they just you know
Yeah, they were more like them, but they were a bit more advanced.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Ancient worlds exist. I believe that. I believe that under underground
Yeah. Well, I
subterranean
wouldn't be
stuff.
surprised if there's like a population of underground people, man. I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the caves in Kentucky. What that one cave's Mammoth Cave's like, what, 400
Yeah.
miles, and they've never been through all of it yet,
Yeah, there's still so much left to explore.
right?
Hmm.
What's the Native Americans out there where you live, or they what tribe are they from? And
We have
everything
Navajo
different.
out here. We have
Navajo.
Navajo. Yeah, we have a few others too. We got different ones out here that have kind of like conglomerated together. So
Wow. So Navajo's the big thing. I didn't know if it'd be Apache or
Yeah, we have them out here too.
What Chiricahua was out that way,
We
out
have
west too.
Cherokee, we have Navajo, we have Apache. We got different kinds out here, so it's a really great place to learn about the Native American lore.
You see here, I mean, there's powwows, but
Mhm.
I think most of the kids are not into it anymore. It used to be a big thing, but I think Cherokee's the biggest thing here in West Virginia.
That's a wealth of knowledge right there, Chris. You should really, really try to talk to them because once they open up to you, man, you're gonna start learning all these different kinds of things that are amazing, dude. Hey, Sue.
Oh yeah, there she is. I'm trying to catch up. I get behind.
That's StreamYard.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
But I think there's a civilization underground that we don't know about,
I would agree. I would agree, man.
like Atlantis. They
It's
talked about
possible.
it, and it
Mm-hmm.
just disappeared.
Yep. Oh,
uh,
nice.
Osage, Cherokee, Shawnee, and White.
Yeah, the native stuff is fascinating, man. When you start listening to them tell tales about Bigfoot or the skinwalkers or whatever, they have such long stories for you, dude, that are so amazing to hear.
What other kind of cryptids, native cryptids, is there?
Oh, well, Thunderbirds, that's a very big one that a
Yeah,
lot of people like to talk about. I
yeah.
don't get too many Thunderbird sightings out here, but what we do get a lot of sightings of, actually, it's very odd, lizard men.
Lizardmen. Oh, okay. The
We get
reptilian, like,
reptilians, and it's very interesting that a desert has such a high number of reptilian sightings.
really?
Hmm.
Is there caves out there and stuff? Out in
Oh
the
yeah. We have so many mountain ranges around here. We have the Rincons, we have the Sierra Nevadas, we got all these different mountains out in Arizona that, the number of caves that are probably uncharted. Man, I couldn't even guess how many there might be.
wow.
There you go.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of native history, and I just did a show not long ago with a friend of mine. He's an investigator and researcher
Yeah.
on Les Odell, and he
Oh
was
yeah, I
talking
know him.
about Les was talking about the giants. I grew up with me and Les known each other since high school, and
Nice.
I didn't know there was that many giants found just in our area, just in Marion County alone.
Yeah. There's a lot of them, man. It's crazy when you really get down to it.
Now is that big out west too? Like out?
No, not really. That's kind of surprising because you would think with all the mountains we have that mountain giants would be a really big thing, but we don't get too many stories about those out here.
Right,
I think because the Giants were smart and they're like, man, it's too hot in Arizona, dude. Let's not go there. I think they were smart with that one.
right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But it was just interesting. I thought all of them giant
Oh yeah.
skeletons found, and especially a lot of the like you got Moundsville Prison. They do the walkthrough hauntings, but right
Mm-hmm.
across from it is the mound that
Yeah.
they found skeletons in, giant
Yeah.
skeletons.
You should talk to Ashley about that stuff, dude. She goes to Virginia quite a bit. She knows a lot about that stuff.
Well, let's get into your favorite one. I think it's your favorite. You and Ashley's both Mothman.
Mothman's her favorite. Yeah,
What?
Wendigo is mine. Wendigo is my
What
favorite.
is
She's the
yours?
moth lady. We call her the Mothman.
I love the Mothman. I mean, my aunt lives down in Leon, which is close to Point Pleasant down there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but I remember my buddy telling me stories of he had family that lived down in Braxton County, which the Braxton County monster, and that's
Yep.
down that
Rexy.
way. Uh, of seeing strange lights on their farm one night like that.
Ooh.
And this is before I was a kid. I don't I didn't know nothing about Mothman, none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he said he's in Braxton County, and they seen lights moving in the woods and stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind
yeah,
seeing Braxy. I'm not gonna lie. If I saw Braxy, I'd be like, oh, I'd be so happy.
yeah. That's another one there, Braxton.
Hmm.
Uh,
Again, that's something Ashley can tell you all about, man. You should pull her up here, man.
yeah, I don't know if I got her. in my thing here or not?
She should come up here, man. She knows a lot about some stuff that she can really fill you in on. She's great too. She is.
Oh yeah, I listen to you guys. You guys are really good at what you do.
We try. We try to be the best we can.
Right?
Yeah, Existor's right. Yep.
Go ahead and talk. I'm just trying to
Hey,
see
take
if
your
I
time,
got.
man. I'm not going anywhere.
I think that's right.
Oh, her mouth is too swollen? Okay. Yeah, she's having some mouth pain today.
Oh, okay. I
Poor
understand
thing.
that. I gotta get some pulled too.
Yep, I think we all. Hey,
Yeah.
Blondes and Booze.
Oh yeah. Hey, I don't know if
Howdy,
that's
howdy.
Chris. I don't know if it's Krista or Brandy.
But yeah, man, I would encourage you to really start talking to the tribes around your area, man, because once they start talking about cryptids, you're going to learn so much and learn so many different views. You know, I mean,
See,
that's what I do. So,
they're so far and few between here. It's like the ones that I do know have passed
mhm,
away. You know, there were in the community I grew up in. There was a bunch of girls, Native American girls, married to guys up where I'm
mhm,
from, but they're
right.
all passed. They're all passed away, and the kids don't.
Oh, that's a
You know,
shame.
what I mean, I know.
The
I
wealth
like
of knowledge that you'll get, man, like the education they'll bestow upon you is just priceless.
right. Um,
Mhm.
it was. I always when I grew up as a kid, I didn't want to run with people my age or talk. I'd sit and listen to the old guys. You know,
Right.
talk and listen to their stories. You know, the stories they had. Because back then, that's what they had to do. They sit
Yeah.
around, drink their coffee in the morning, smoke their cigarettes, and talk about things. You know, like World War
Right.
II and stuff.
Well, it might take you some work to actually get them to open up to you, but dude, I'm telling you, once they open up to you, your eyes are just going to be so wide open because you're going to see a new aspect to cryptids, and it's going to be amazing.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Existers is saying those stories will become less and less, and that's something I did keep in mind because someone needs to pass on those stories after they're gone, you know, and
Yeah.
somebody needs to do it the right way. Tell them as they were told, not as they were made up to be.
Right. It's a
Mhm.
shame. I mean, it's this newer generation. They're not interested in stuff like that.
Right. Well, it's not just that; it's also that a lot of people add little details to it that weren't there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
to them, it's they think they're respecting the original lore, and really, you're not. If you add anything that's not in there originally, you're not respecting what they told you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, we went over to Gugway and Bigfoot, Dog Man,
Yeah, we talked
Wendigo.
Wendigo and Skinwalkers.
Yeah, we got into the Pale People
Nope.
or
And
humanoids.
Skinwalkers, though, Chris, I will tell people that if you choose to study the Yinatadushi, just be really careful, okay? Don't go into it thinking you're going to be big and bold and brave. Be really careful. Be really, really careful and careful who you talk to. A lot of people don't want to talk about those Yinatadushi, the Skinwalkers. They're afraid to do it. So if they're afraid, don't force them to do it. Just wait till they open up to you. But when you go out looking to see if these things are real, be prepared. Be very careful and be very prepared for it. Oh, I see a
Yeah.
little one.
Oh yeah, that's my littlest one.
No.
She can't.
Come to say hi to her dad, huh?
Oh yeah, she likes to get on here and talk. You know.
Uh-oh. She's a future show host in the making, huh?
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Let's,
She's making faces at the camera.
oh yeah.
That's
What
cute.
else? What else you guys got out in Arizona?
Oh, well, we get a lot of UFO reports too. I mean, not as
Oh
many
yeah.
as like West Virginia, but yeah, we do get quite a few. So, I mean, there's a lot of investigations I have to do, Chris. Come what summer, I'll be going out there for my Dogman investigations, for Bigfoot investigations. If I'm brave enough, I might do some reptilian investigations, but I doubt it. I don't want to mess with a reptilian. I don't know. The idea of crossing a 6.5 foot tall lizard man.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's not good. I don't like snakes anyway.
I don't mind snakes. Spiders, I'm terrified of, but it would be my luck that I would run across a Spider-Man. No, no. I'm afraid of tiny spiders that big. Imagine like a human-sized spider. Man, I'd have a heart attack, dude. You'd never see me again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I'm opposite. Spiders don't bother me.
Well, hey, man, you can come over here and you can deal with all the spiders you want, dude. I'll gladly deal with the snakes. I'll see a
But
snake, I'm like, oh, cool. I see a spider, and I'm like, I'm out.
well, see, the most poisonous snake we got that's native to West Virginia is a copperhead, and then of
Mm-hmm.
course we're getting the eastern. Well, is it the diamondback or the timber rattler?
Ooh, we
One of
get
the
timber
two,
rattlers.
something
Mm.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, we
but
have a
that's
lot of rattlesnakes, so
yeah, but at least that you know that you're going to get bit. You know, they do make a
yeah.
noise.
Well, we have red racers too. I don't know if you guys have red racers out there.
I don't know.
They're a
I
type of
seen.
snake that will actually they'll chase you. They will chase you down if you make them angry. They will chase you.
Seriously?
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a black snake to raise up and chase me one day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man.
I was throwing rocks at it. It was my dumbness. I did it to myself.
Welcome back, Miss Lune.
Oh yeah, our chicken's got our chicken done.
Where is
Uh,
the spray bottle?
I don't know where it's at, babe. It was on the table. Kids, man, they bug you at the craziest time.
Hey man, that's what kids are there for, dude.
Right,
Hmm.
right. That's for sure. I guess we did the same thing to our parents.
Oh yeah. That's why we're grounded so often.
Right.
Hmm.
Uh, back to the Bigfoot thing. Um, have you guys found any tracks?
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have found some footprints. And they were actually going up a really steep hill that we have in the area. I actually got to go back and I got to cast those. I might do that tomorrow. But there were some footprints that were pretty big.
Wow,
Hmm.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was really weird, dude. That after we played that Ohio Howl, we started, smelling that sulfur-like smell. We started hearing some weird things. So
Yeah,
there was something to that. I don't know if that was a good idea or a bad idea at this point.
yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, that clapping, man. When that clapping started up, we were looking around with flashlights and couldn't see anything. We could not see anything at all, but you could hear that clapping. Sure enough.
Yeah, that would have freaked me out because
I think what might have been going on is there was more than one. There was like two of them, and one would clap and then stop, and then the one behind us would clap. So that way when we're looking this way, it's clapping behind us.
oh wow,
Yeah, I think it was a distractionary method. I really do. And we could hear something snapping the branches as we were leaving. You could tell something was following us out
right,
because you could hear branches snapping, being pulled down. You could hear the rocks being kicked. We didn't run because we know better than to just run when it's dark out and you don't really know what's in front of you.
right,
So we were taking our time. We were walking slowly, but it sounded like something was, falling alongside us.
wow.
I think they
Well,
just wanted.
they say they'll go to the side of you.
Yeah, they parallel you instead of going behind you or right in front of you. They go alongside you. They're
Right.
escorting you out, kind of. Hmm.
Hey, Fast Timmy, how you doing?
What's up, Fast? Yeah, Exister is right. They have that game well figured out, man. They know what they're doing before we even know what we're doing, man.
Right.
They know which direction we're going, and they're like, "Oh, we know what's over there." They don't, but let them learn. So.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. That's for sure.
I actually have pictures that I can show you later on, man. It's on my phone, and I can send them to you on Facebook so you can see. We took some pictures that night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, it was really hard getting good pictures, but we managed some.
Well, that's good that you got some pictures.
Hmm.
That's for sure. I'm gonna try to get
Definitely.
up to. I want to get up to the farm and just sit up there one night and listen to stuff.
Right.
Because I know there's coyotes up there,
Oh, yeah.
lots and lots, and then
Well, that was the weird thing, though, is like there was no coyotes bothering us out there. You couldn't hear any or see any, and that's very unusual. That's very, very unusual. Well, usually when I go out at night, there's more than a couple of coyotes out there, and there was no coyotes at all.
yeah, I know how active they are here. I can imagine down,
Hmm.
out west is probably more of them than what's here.
You would think, but I mean, I didn't run into a single one, and that was just very, very strange. That was unusual, So, and I mean, like last night, I mean, this morning when I woke up, coyotes were running across the street.
Wow.
So how come I didn't see any way up when I was in the wilderness there? I didn't see a single coyote.
Well, maybe Bigfoot was out and about. Maybe
That's
they
what
was
I'm thinking. Yeah,
keeping
something was
quiet.
out there. Yeah, something was there that the coyotes were going, oh no, we don't want a part of this.
What we get a lot of is hoot owl calls.
Oh yeah.
And you go to my house and say, no, they will not shut up sometimes all night. It's
I don't
crazy.
get that kind, but I get screech owls. You ever heard screech owls before?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what? If you don't know what a screech owl is, if you're alone at night and you suddenly hear that thing, you're gonna jump because it's such a weird noise.
A bobcat will really make the hair stand up on you. Woo!
Oh, no lie. The first time I heard a bobcat at night, dude, I split, man. I got up from where I was sitting. I just ran all the way home, dude. I ran half a mile home and I didn't stop till I got my house.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's a sound that you won't forget.
Ooh,
I guarantee you that.
good question, Miss Lene. I think had we pushed our luck, Miss Lene, if we overstayed our welcome, I think they would have started throwing stuff at us. I really do. Because it just sounded like the way they were clapping, like that was just something to really scare us and they wanted us out. So I don't want to push our luck. You got to know your limits. When you don't know what's out there and what's making that noise, don't think you're the strongest guy there is, the biggest bull on the block, and think you can push your luck. So we just got out, but had we stayed, I'm sure things would have got a bit more hairier, no pun intended.
Right, because I mean, I've heard of the wood knocks and stuff like that, but clapping
Mm.
like that's kind of
It was so weird, Chris, because it was almost rhythmic. Like it wasn't fast clapping, it was like slow. So it just, I don't know, it didn't make a lot of sense. And we couldn't see where it was coming from. Like you could hear it loud and clear as a bell as if it was right next to you. But as we're looking around, it would stop on one side, start on the other. And if we looked over there, it stops over here, starts over here.
hmm. That sounds like they was telling you to get out.
Yeah, it sounds like they were messing with us, going, let's make a small noise and see if you're smart enough to go. And okay, you're moving. Okay. All right, you're doing the right thing. Cool. Now we're going to escort you out of here. Don't make us regret this.
Yeah,
My buddy wanted to draw his gun, and I'm like, no, 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 no. No, don't
yeah,
draw your gun because it's really dark out. Even though we have flashlights, we can only see to a certain distance. You draw that gun, one might come from behind, one might come from the front, and we're both in trouble.
right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think they would intentionally hurt someone, but I think if
Mm-hmm.
I think they just want us out of their.
Yeah, I just think they didn't want us there. I don't know if maybe it was like hunting time for them or whatever, but they just didn't want us there. And you know what? I respect Bigfoot enough to say, hey, if you don't want me here, as you wish, good sir, I'll go.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure.
Sheldon.
Yeah, Sheldon and Dawn. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, existers. I kind of picture them if it was a Bigfoot doing that. I kind of picture one of them going, dude, watch this. I'm going to scare Ryan. He claps. Like, dude, you see how quick he moved? Watch, I'm going to do it again. He just kept doing it. He's like, dude, Ryan's such a punk.
Well, I mean, hell, that would scare. It'd scare anybody. I mean, I don't care who you are.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if it were broad daylight, I would have been like, you whatever, dude. Keep playing your games. But when it's, middle of the night, I think because it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, so it's pitch black. And there wasn't really a moon hanging overhead. So when you have no moonlight, just flashlights, and you hear something like that, you kind of go, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, because it was a human, you think that.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of human would actually follow us out there, knowing that
Right.
and my friend was armed, and he had his pit bull with him. We had a big pit bull with us.
Uh-huh.
And even that pit bull, even though she's like a really strong dog, she would not go towards that source of that noise.
They say dogs can sense them, I guess,
Yep. And, we heard that like low going on. So it's like, what was that?
Yeah, that's strange. Then you had rocks thrown at you. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think they were trying to be gentle with us. I think that was their way of kindly asking us to leave. I think had we just stayed in place, we would have heard louder, more aggressive vocals. But I think they were just being gentle, going, you know what, we're going to ask you to leave just one time, and that's it.
Yeah.
So.
That's probably dinner time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's probably the time that they go out.
Hey, maybe they wanted me out because they're like, hey, Ryan's too skinny, dude. I'm not going to eat that. He's tough and gamey, man. Send him along. Send him along.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I've only been in it for probably, I don't know, 8 months now, and the stuff, that's just amazing.
It's exciting, isn't it?
And then all the lake monsters. Oh
Oh,
my
yeah. Oh, Ashley's your girl to talk to about lake monsters, too. She really knows her stuff.
god. Yeah, I was reading an article about the Cleveland Bigfoot. Have you ever heard of that one?
Which one exactly? The Ohio Grassman or?
They said it was in Cleveland. It happened at the same place. There's a lake monster there. I wish I'd have read about it again.
Oh, Ashley, you might want to chime in here. This is definitely her area of the woods here.
But supposedly it lived by a graveyard. Yeah.
I don't know that I heard of that one. I know there was a Dogman report that came from a graveyard where it talked to the security guard.
Oh, I ain't heard that one yet.
You haven't heard that one?
No.
Okay, so like I think it was actually in Michigan where this took place. There was a security guard that worked nearby a cemetery, and he heard a noise one night. And when he went out there to look with his flashlight, he saw a dogman, and this dogman looked at him, and they made eye contact. And the dogman spoke to him. It said one word, Dagara, and nobody knows what that means. To this day, nobody's translated it. We can't find that word anywhere, and we can't find a translation, so we don't know what that dogman was saying. And there's Ashley. The Cleveland Bigfoot, Ashley. He was asking about the Cleveland Bigfoot. What do you know about that?
Yeah, I've only heard of it. I read about it. Now it's by a lake monster. It's in the same area.
Are you sure it's not the Ohio Grassman, though?
Maybe that's what they called it, but I thought they called it.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean that's Ohio's.
It's a Bigfoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now it seems like Oklahoma's a hot spot for Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out of there. There's a lot coming out of there right now. It's very interesting.
Well, then, of course, you got PA. You got the ridge out there, up above my house.
Yeah.
We live here in Morgantown.
Then you get in Pennsylvania, you have the where they filmed the white Bigfoot, the albino Bigfoot. Now, I thought that was really cool, that video where you see the albino, because that's not something you ever hear of anymore. It's very interesting and strange at the same time.
Yeah, did you see the video on YouTube of the ones that were pushing each other?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty good footage.
That was actually really good.
Pushing. And then the giant one. Then the giant one.
Yep. They just got to zoom in more.
Right. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. She wrote something here.
Yep, she did. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking is like, Cleveland, Ohio's got a lot of city to it. So,
yeah.
But, hey, maybe they are going into the cities too. I wouldn't be surprised. Probably go there to pick the dumpsters and everything. It's easy pickings for food.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, that's right on the lake, right? Cleveland's right there by the lake.
That's true too. Good point.
Don't touch me!
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Somebody's arguing.
Girl. Oh, okay. Wait a minute here. Someone said something there.
Yep.
Larson said Boston Music Center in Cleveland.
There you go. Well, actually, existers, albinism isn't just an animal thing. We do have albino humans, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Albinism is actually a very rare thing, but it does happen.
Yeah, I went to school with a boy like that.
Actually, my neighbor down the way, he's an albino. So it does happen in humans, but it is more common in animals, though.
Yeah. Yeah, because I had a white shepherd. We had white shepherds growing. We used to raise them.
Yeah, and they actually breed the albinos too, so you can buy albino mice, snakes, so forth and so on. So, I mean, I don't know. It's very perplexing when it comes to Bigfoot because, does the albinism say it's animal or whatever? No. Does it say it's human? No.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I think it exists in probably about every animal species almost.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
mean, you got
mean,
penguins that have it. Penguins
yeah,
had it. There's a killer whale that was albino at one time. Yeah, it's there. It happens.
yeah. And then you got the what did I see that was white the other day? It was kind of there's white squirrels. I've
Mhm.
heard of white squirrels and black squirrels.
Yep. Yeah, those
But
are
yeah,
melanistic. When you see an animal that's all black like that, that isn't usually all black. That's melanistic.
yeah, yeah. Like the panther. If you look
Yeah,
at it real close, a picture of it, you can see the spots.
yeah. The
You
rosettes. Yeah,
know,
you can definitely see
yeah.
the rosettes. Hmm.
But I mean, if you've seen them out in the wild, you probably wouldn't see. At a distance, you wouldn't see that. You just see the
Yeah,
black.
yeah. I mean, it's probably not the best camouflage sometimes for them though, especially during the fall. But
Yeah, you can see black pretty good.
yeah,
Uh, like the Dogman picture, the newest one that was going around. You can see the black Dogman figure.
you'll have to send that to me on Facebook later so I can look at
Yeah,
that.
Shane posted it.
Did he?
Um,
Okay, I'll have to
yeah,
go back and
it's
look.
it's been a little while, but it's awesome. I mean, if it's AI, they did a damn good job. I mean,
Oh my god.
Yeah, again, that AI stuff though, man, that's going to create such a problem for photos.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Wow.
Well,
Beautiful.
there's been black what they said was a panther
Hmm.
spotted up around the farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big cat sightings. It's funny. A lot of people don't consider big cat sightings cryptozoology, but it's most definitely cryptozoology.
Oh yeah, they say there's mountain lions here too. My grandpa always told me about mountain lions. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah, a buddy
and
of mine actually, he goes up to where you're at, dude, and he and his girlfriend try to chronicle any mountain lion activity up there. They're trying to prove that they're up there.
yeah, my grandpa swore by it. I mean, ever since I was a little kid, he would sit and tell me
Hmm.
stories about it.
Yeah.
And I was hunting one time down what we call the mountains down Webster County, Randolph County. I was in
Okay.
Webster County. And a buddy dropped me off. We was bear hunting, and I just walked this tram road out there. And I come to a little bottom where it stopped, and I found cat tracks. And I'm not kidding you; they was like that. They was huge.
Wow. Big.
And that's dumb me started following, and I probably followed them there for a good while. And I happened to look way up in the mountains, up the hill, way up the hill. You could see an opening
Hmm.
like a cave. I got my butt out of there. I was like,
That
no,
was probably a smart move, Chris.
yeah, because even though I had a gun, it was only a rifle, so at close distance, you ain't gonna have a chance against one of them
Yeah, no.
things.
So Sheldon saw Black Panther, huh?
Let me
Wow.
see.
Oh, and Existers, the AI, what's going on with that is a lot of people are creating AI images of Bigfoot or Dogman, and they're pushing them as real photos.
Open up the door.
Right. Yeah, I think that's going to hurt a lot in the long run,
Yeah, I
especially for
mean,
you
especially with
guys
so
that
many channels.
investigate.
Yeah, so many channels pushing it because, like, I don't know how many videos we see per day where it's a video claiming, "Oh, this was a trail cam photo," and it's a full color AI generated thing, and it's like, come on, guys, what are you doing? You're gonna hurt this study. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Renee,
What'd you say? Did I missed
Renee's
something?
seen some too. Ooh, Miss Renee, I want to hear about that.
Wow. I had a friend that was hunting up in the mountains, and they saw one. They packed their tent and stuff up, and they come home that night.
Hmm.
That was enough for them. And these are
Wow.
guys that are, big burly biking guys, ride
Yeah.
motorcycles and stuff. And it was, we're leaving, we're out of here.
Yeah, surprisingly, my brother back in Connecticut, he's a Bigfoot believer now too. He used to think I was crazy. He made fun of me for believing in Bigfoot. He was hunting during the summertime up in Connecticut, and he got chased out. And he said that there was being big rocks like this big being thrown at him, over like this.
Oh my gosh.
And he could hear like big branches just being snapped off. And he said that something was barreling down at him, and he grabbed his gun and ran the hell out of there. Hey, what's up, Midwest? So my brother is now a believer. He doesn't think I'm so crazy after all.
He believes you now, huh?
Oh yeah, he definitely does. He was so terrified. He said that he just grabbed his gun and he bolted, man. He just kept running, he got in his truck and drove off over the speed limit. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, you thought I was crazy, huh, bro? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Serves you right.
Right. Sheldon said that's why he started carrying, because even
Smart.
not because of the Bigfoot, but because of the mountain lions. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because mountain lions will chase you down. Me and my buddy a couple of years ago, we were stalked by a mountain lion when we went to Mount Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was crazy. We had to walk 5 miles back. We were biking up at Mount Lemon, and we had to stop because there was a mountain lion on the path.
Oh
So we got
man.
off the bikes and we started walking backwards. We had to stay backwards for 5 miles, Chris, because this thing was just like down low. And if you even turned your head this way, the thing would rush forward. So we had to walk.
Oh.
Yeah, we had
Wow.
to go down the trail backwards, 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 nice and slow. And the only thing that really stopped it is we saw a park ranger, and he saw us and he saw the mountain lion. So he took his gun and just pow, 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 shot
Yeah.
some shots up in the air, and it ran off. But let me tell you, when there's a mountain lion staring at you, licking his chops, dude, you definitely feel your mortality right then and there. Let me tell you.
Oh, I bet your heart probably felt like it's going to pound out of your chest.
My heart, you could see my heart coming out of my chest like this. It was like the cartoons, dude. So,
Right. Right.
I'm like,
Did you
oh,
see?
we're gonna try.
Did you see the one where the one come towards that one guy, and he had to take his gun out and shoot at it, and it
Yeah.
kind of didn't stop at the first shot.
Yeah,
Like
it
it kind
keep
of like
doing it.
twisted off. Yeah.
They're brazen. Mountain lions are so damn brave, dude, that you're like, you guys are crazy because you're this brave. Leave me alone.
Right.
But we had to walk backwards all the way, dude. We couldn't turn around for even a minute.
Oh man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they're not to be. I mean, I seen them guys run them on what is that one show? Mountain Men, where a
Mhm.
guy would take his dogs up. Ain't no way I'd do that.
No, me either, man.
And then
Mm-mm.
go underneath the tree and get the dog out of there.
Yeah, no.
I mean, them
Mm-mm.
things could pounce at
You got to
any
be
minute.
so careful when you go out there, man.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure you never go alone. You're probably always with someone.
Sometimes I go alone, but I get yelled at for doing it, so I kind of stop doing it.
Yeah, you don't want to get. I mean, anything can happen, not just Bigfoot.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just animals. I mean, like I tell everybody else, animals are one danger, but the biggest danger out there is other human beings.
Yeah.
You never know
Yeah.
if you're going to cross somebody that's having a bad day or they're just not thinking straight and they're going to hurt you somehow. So you just got to be really, really, really careful.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking a couple of shows ago that I live in West Virginia all my life, born and raised.
Right.
I've only seen one black bear my whole life.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. Like just like going back to the Bigfoot thing, they could be right by you, and what I mean, catch it, or
That's
behind
very
a tree
true.
or something.
That's very true. People got to remember that animals are so much more practiced at stealth than we are, that while we practice stealth, they don't need to practice it. It's natural to them.
Yeah.
So they know exactly where to step and how to pounce on you without making a noise. So you always have to have your head on a swivel, man.
Oh yeah, it's
Very
people,
alert too.
people go out in the woods that's never really been out there before.
Mhm.
You can pay attention to other animals, and they'll let you know
Oh
something's
yeah,
up.
that's
The
why I got
bird,
Duke, man. Duke will let me know. Duke, like he doesn't
oh
bark.
yeah,
He's a Basenji hound. They don't bark like normal dogs.
hmm,
But what he'll do is he will groan and howl to let me know if there's danger nearby.
wow, he's a
Yeah,
good dog.
it's a very weird howl though. If you ever heard Duke howling like that, you'd be like, "Is Duke okay?" But that's how he alerts you to danger.
They're not barkers. They got their own
Yeah,
little.
it almost sounds like a cry, like he's crying excitedly, but it's deeper. So that's
Uh-huh.
what he's doing when he makes that noise. And then we're out in the, doing an investigation. If he makes that noise, I know to pay attention to him and to leave.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
that's for sure.
Yep.
I mean, I've always, I've been in the woods and I hear no birds, no insects, no animals moving around. Something's around.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why whenever I go out to the research areas, if I notice there's no animals around, not even making noises, I'm like, I should probably be really careful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see what.
Wow.
Oh, see Cooper's Rock's not far from me where I'm at.
Black bears, huh?
It's an awesome place. Uh,
I'm so glad we don't have to worry about bears here where I live, man, because I don't know. It'd be my luck I'd run into a group of angry, hungry bears. I'm just not down for that.
I know guys that hunted them, and I've hunted them, and I've never got one, or even while I was hunting, I've never seen one.
Right. Yeah, but it's when
But
you
the
think
guys
you won't
that
see
has,
one that you see one.
right, and that's
Mm.
what happened when
Yeah.
I did finally see one.
Yep.
Um, you just don't, you just don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
mean,
know
you always
what's
gotta be
watching you
careful.
in the woods.
Yep. Just always be super, super careful. And just when you think you're an expert, still be super, super careful.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I said, Cooper's Rock's an awesome place.
I'll have to
Uh,
look that place up. I want to see what that's like.
it's it's really cool because there's lots of big rocks, and you can
Ooh.
like go down and crawl in between. And we as kids we used to go and just go. We never
No.
paid attention to nothing. I mean, you never think it's a Bigfoot or anything like that. It's an
Mhm.
awesome place, though.
Nice. I'll have to
Especially if
check.
you're into big rocks and cliffs and stuff. But
Oh, your kids want to
yeah,
be a part of the show, Chris. Let them be part of the show.
she wants to turn one of her Minecraft stuff. That's what the kid. Oh, Sheldon said he works with the DNR on the timber rattlesnakes.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Cool. I think them are the ones that get big, don't they? They get like really
Yeah.
fat.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
know
have the
one.
Mojave rattlesnake out here. That's like the most dangerous kind.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Is that
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones that do the sidewinder stuff, or?
They can, yeah, but we do have sidewinders out here too. We have the Mojave, we have sidewinders, we have diamondbacks. We got so many snakes that are just very angry at the world. I think
What the hell do you do when you go outside?
you look around, you look up in the trees, and go, "Okay, there's nothing there. Cool."
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Chris? About 2 years ago, when I first moved into the apartment I'm living in now, there was a rattlesnake that used to come over to my door like almost every other day, and it was such a pain in the butt because I go to open the door and you hear the boom because my door hit the rattlesnake, and all of a sudden you hear.
Oh
I had to keep calling the,
man.
I had to keep calling the cops and the animal control to have them, come and get it.
Yeah, because how in the hell you can get out of the house if you can't get out your door?
I'm not going to pick up a rattlesnake. So I'm like, no, you guys can do it. You get paid for it, man. So have
Right.
fun.
Right. I was at a show one time. It was a hunting show, and they used to bring rattlesnakes and throw them in a pit, and them guys would go in.
Oh, no, man.
And them guys would get in there and see who catches the most or whatever. It was pretty. When you're a kid, though, it's like, oh yeah, I go.
That's crazy, man. Like the Mojaves, though, when you get them angry, those things really like they pop up. They don't just rattle. Their head pops up,
Oh
their body pops up. You hear them all because they swell up. They swell up and they start rattling. You see the tail going back and forth. You're just like, ooh, I'm in trouble.
now you guys don't have the pygmies, do you? The pygmy rattlesnakes, the wee
I
little tiny one.
think so. I don't think we do.
I
No.
don't. I don't know if it's a southern thing or what.
I think we get the bigger ones. Hey,
Yeah.
DA. Yeah, we
Oh,
always get the
yeah.
bigger ones, but for some reason, they always like to mess with me. And I'm like, y'all can leave me alone at any given time. I'm not going to complain about this.
Right.
Mhm. I mean, last year, yeah, I think it was last year. I went out to go have a cigarette out in the back. It was nighttime, dude. I sat down. First thing I hear is a rattlesnake going. So he was right under my chair.
Oh my
So
God.
I froze for a very brief moment. I'm like, oh, just my luck. I just stood up really calmly. I'm like, all right, have your bad attitude then. And I walked away.
Oh man, I'd have still been sitting in that damn chair.
Oh man, I was terrified when I heard that. I think I turned like 20 shades of white. I really do. I just like went through the rainbow of white, man. I'm like, because I knew what it was. I knew it was a rattlesnake, and I was just like, man, why's it got to be my chair, man? Why?
Oh no doubt. Oh
Yep, it
God.
was right under there, and you could actually hear it slithering around after a while. And I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. No more of this. Wasn't fun.
Snakes scare the hell out of me. When I first met my better half, she had a boa constrictor. Yeah,
Mm.
that thing scared the shit out of me.
I think those are beautiful, but man, rattlesnakes, they got attitudes and they got the venom to back up that attitude. So I'm just like, yeah, we're not going to tangle anytime soon. We're good. Peace.
Right?
Hmm.
The kids was like, "Oh, well, Dad, we want a snake." No, you don't. You ain't get one either.
Well, maybe someday. Maybe when you move out and you have your own apartment, you can get your own snake.
Right.
Fair enough.
Right. That's for sure.
Hmm.
How many alien encounter and sightings do you get?
You know,
I
I don't
mean,
get
you,
that many. I get a lot of UFO sightings, but nothing that's like really piques my interest. Like for me, when it comes to UFOs or aliens, it can't just be like, oh, I saw this light go over my house. Because I'm like, could be anything. But I don't get a lot of alien sightings though. I really don't. But like I said, what I do get, I guess maybe you can consider them aliens, is those lizard men, the reptilians.
hmm
I've gotten quite a few of those. So, and
Wow.
one day when I can make it out to Tucson, I need to get up to the mountain that I get these from. Interestingly enough, I have 4 different reports from the same mountain range.
Yeah. Now, are you close to the what's that mountain range down there with the gold? Superstition Mountain.
Yep,
Are you
yep,
close to that?
yep. We got the Superstition Mountains that way. Then we have the Rincons over there. Then we have Mount Lemon that way, and then the Mogollon Rim is over that way.
Wow. So you're like right in the
Yep,
middle, epicenter
yep,
of it.
yep. Pretty
Wow.
exciting, huh?
Yeah, that's Superstitious Mountain. That's a crazy story itself too.
Yeah, I mean, we were gonna go there. A group of friends and I were gonna go there at one point in time, but then my friends made the mistake of reading up on it. They all canceled, so I wasn't gonna go by myself. I was like, oh, well, hey, thanks for educating yourself, schmucks.
Right?
Oh yeah, yep,
Yeah, so you're right in the thick of it. I mean, you got
yep,
something on every side.
yeah. We sure do. Should come up to Arizona sometime, Chris. We'll go out for some investigations, man.
There was a lot of people that was moving from West Virginia out to Arizona,
Yeah.
especially the older people.
Well, it's
I
because it's
guess,
got really nice weather. I mean, it gets super hot. It does, but if you're an older person, you're gonna enjoy the heat. So,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
and they said something to do with their health too. It's better for some people out to
yeah, the
move
heat's
out
better
there.
for their arthritis.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
And for your asthma too. If you're asthmatic, then you can actually breathe easier here.
yeah. Sheldon said, "Sure are that Superstition Mountain is intimidating."
Yeah, but they're so exciting though. I mean, there's so many tales from that place. I want to go and check it out someday. And I'm still very bitter at my friends for canceling that trip. So hashtag salty Ryan.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of history there. I mean, the
Yeah.
gold and the Indian. There's a lot of Native American lore there too, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
The
yeah.
roots and with all that.
Yep. Now, the funny thing is, there's actually a part of the Superstition Mountains that have the name Nahani. Okay, Nahani Valley. Ring a
Oh
bell?
wow, yeah,
Yeah. So, and there were disappearances in that certain part of the Superstition Mountains where people were either disappearing or getting beheaded. So that's kind of a tie to the Nahani Valley stuff.
that is strange. That is a very interesting. I've
Yeah.
never
So
heard. I've never heard that before.
yeah. So that's something I want to look into and see if there's something to that.
Maybe it ties in
Yeah.
somehow. I mean,
Yeah. Maybe there's some kind of bond there that maybe somebody from the Nahani Valley came down this way, settled up in that Superstition Mountains, and
well, didn't
here
you
you go.
say a tribe disappeared up there?
Yeah, the
In
Naha.
the Naha?
Yep.
I wonder if maybe it ties in. Maybe they come down here.
It's possible. I mean, if they were driven out by the Nakani, maybe they want to get as far away as possible. So,
Yeah. Oh,
might
I
be
can't
something to
wait.
that, Chris.
I can't wait until you guys do that show. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, you know what? You need to nudge Ashley, take your elbow and just kind of nudge Ashley a little bit. Say, hey, Nahani Valley. We still have the Megalodon episode to drop, so.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the big shark, right? The biggest shark ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's becoming very, very popular again.
Good. Good. The Megalodon deserves some love, man. It's a big shark. What's not to love?
Yeah, there was DA had a guy when it was an author, and he had some of the teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap! Like
They're big. They're very big.
talking
See.
about
Linnea got a question.
Oh, does she? Oh, where's she at? Oh,
That's a very, very good question, Miss Linnea. I think there are some ley lines near me, and I would not at all be surprised if there was a lot of cryptid sightings that happen around those. Because I noticed a lot of cryptid sightings do follow along the ley lines. So would it surprise me to find out they did that here in Arizona? Not at all.
see, I haven't read what are the ley lines exactly because I haven't really gotten into that yet.
It depends on who you talk to. Some people will tell you that this is like, it's a natural energy source that goes along the land. Other people have the misinterpretation that's where the power lines are. So, I mean, it depends on what definition you want to go with.
Yeah.
So I believe that like ley lines are where the energy flows through. The natural energy. I don't think it's just power lines, man. Like some people will mistakenly tell you.
Yeah. See, I haven't really dug into it to understand what it was.
There's so much to dig into, Chris. It's going to be a educational experience for you.
Oh, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I learn something new every time, every day.
That's the best part of it when you start learning something new all the time. That's the exciting part.
Let's see here. Exister said he's been trying to get elevation data from some of the researchers.
Okay, what kind of data do you need, Existers? I can probably help you out.
Let's see here.
I mean, are you talking like cryptid sightings at certain elevations or, strange occurrences in general at certain elevations?
Right.
Mind overload. Oh, what? You guys get to see Aurora Borealis in Ohio? I'm jealous.
See, we're got these hollows around us and stuff. You can't. Everything sets in the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be petty and be really jealous for all you Ohio people, man.
Yeah, it's nice and flat up there, but there's some hills and stuff up there.
Yeah.
I've been
See, we won't see anything like that in Arizona, though. We never see anything that cool.
Right. We don't see much either. I mean, besides the. Wait a minute.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, Existers, I can help you with that, man.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, yeah, I'm learning. I learn something new every day.
Good. Very good, Chris. That's how it should be. What you should do one day is have me and Ashley up here both at the same time. We'll both give you.
We'll do that.
Overload. All right.
Yeah, because she's into the Mothman. Have you seen that harpy igua? Or is it the harpy igua I sent?
Yep.
Posted?
Yep.
That thing really reminds me of what the Mothman. I mean, that head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of people think. A lot of people think
it's so big.
Mm-hmm. Just wait, though. When you talk to Ashley about the Mothman, you're going to be really well educated on that.
Well, no, I've listened to your guys' show, and she really gets into it, man.
Mm-hmm.
She can take it
Yeah,
down there. The girls want to go down this year and go to the festival down there. My daughters.
You should.
Go see Mothman. They're into Mothman.
Go touch his metal butt.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all into the Mothman. Bigfoot they don't care about. But Mothman.
That's a shame.
Right.
Is it because Mothman looks so cool? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I think it's more of what they're learning at school, honestly. I think that must be one of the things that they must learn about. And it's everywhere, West Virginia. It's what we're known for.
All right.
I just don't know about it. It's one of the things I don't know what it is. But now it's being seen in Chicago. And
she'll talk to you about that stuff too. Yeah. She has opinions on those sightings, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she does. She's got some opinions on the Chicago sightings, man. Just wait.
Let's see. Indrid Cold.
That's tied to the Mothman in a way.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did not know that. I'm going to have to check that out.
You know what? Don't research Mothman until you get Ashley to come up, because then Watch, you'll get a full education that way. I guarantee you.
Right. Right.
So,
You're
all right,
more,
brother. I gotta cut it short because I gotta go give my mom her medication. So,
yeah, I know you need to go get coffee too. I hear you, bro.
yeah. Stupid me. I forgot the coffee. I went to a grocery store, bought everything else I needed, got home and realized you didn't get your coffee, Ryan.
And you probably need that too.
That's like the main thing I went out for too, man. How stupid is that?
I did it. I did it.
It
I'm
was literally
guilty.
at the top of my list, Chris, and it's the one thing I forgot. I'm like, I can tell I'm such a dude. Only dudes forget stuff like this.
Yeah, I hear you. I do the same thing, man.
Well, at least I'm not alone. I feel a little bit better.
I forget stuff all the time. I can write it down and I'll still forget it because I won't look at the paper.
Oh, that's funny. All right, well, thanks for having me on, brother. I definitely enjoyed this, and we'll have to do it again soon.
Yeah, I'll get with you guys and you and Ashley figure out a date that you want to come on and
Oh,
we'll
guys,
do
have
it,
a
man.
great week. Okay,
That'd be
well, make sure
awesome.
everybody has a great week, and I will talk to everybody again soon.
Okay, thanks for being on, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Take it easy, brother. My pleasure.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye. Well, that's all for tonight, folks. We'll see you again Wednesday. I have Abe Cias and Carlito Castro coming on. We're going to do an episode on Mexican folklore. So I'll see you Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We also got a show Thursday too. So I'll announce more of that this week, later in the week. But thanks everybody for being here, and you all have a good night. Thanks, Ryan, for being on the show. You too, Ashley, Carson, Existers, Shade Viking, Lene, uh, DA, Sheldon and Dawn, Fast Timmy, Midwest, Chiro. I think I got everybody. Let me look here. Yeah, I think that was everybody. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see you again Wednesday evening. Thanks a lot. Good night.